Welcome to Chapter 15, Pathogenicity. Here are the learning objectives for Chapter 15. We'll talk about disease versus infection, something called Koch's postulates for identifying the cause of a disease. Pathogenicity, virulence, the ways we measure that with ID50 and LD50. Virulence factors that allow germs to attack their hosts, and some different kinds of toxins. Let's start with Objective 1, diseases versus infections. First, we need to establish some good definitions. When we're talking about disease, we're talking about some kind of alteration from a normal, healthy, functioning state. When we're talking about an infection, we're specifically talking about the presence or colonization of a host by some kind of pathogen or a disease-causing microbe. So let's talk about what these really mean. Can you have a disease, an alteration from a normal state, without an infection? So no colonization by a pathogen. Yes, because diseases are caused by things other than microbes. So one example might be a genetic disease. It's caused by genes, not by an infection. Or an environmental disease like lead poisoning. That's a disease, but it's not caused by an infection. So let's look at it the other way. Can you have an infection without a disease? Also, yes. That microbe could be present. It could have colonized the host, but you might be asymptomatic. And a lot of times this situation is not detected. The infection is not detected until it's causing the symptoms of a disease. One example is HIV. HIV is the virus. You can be HIV positive, but it takes many years for that to start causing the disease AIDS. So with HIV, you have the presence of a microbe, a virus. You have the infection, but it's not causing disease yet. Another example here, these are two blood diseases. This picture here in purple, that is malaria. So that's a disease. It's caused by an infection of this parasite, Plasmodium, in your red blood cells. So that's a disease caused by an infection. So this is both. This other picture here is showing something called sickle cell disease. These curved, sort of skinny cells, those are red blood cells that did not form correctly. So this is a blood disease, but it's not caused by an infection. It's caused by genetics that make some of the blood cells grow differently. So two different diseases. One's caused by an infection, malaria, and one you have a disease with no infection because it's caused by genetics.